The Zeb and Deb Phonics program presents Vocabulary Word Bank number 3 that helps prepare students for working on Worksheet number 3. This goes with a short A story by Debbie Dunn called Al Ant and the Bad Asp. By the way, the Zeb and Deb brother and sister team want to remind you that A makes 4 main sounds. It makes the short A sound that you hear in apple. It makes the long A sound that you hear in safe. It also makes the aw sound that you hear in water. And it makes the sound that you hear in I am aghast. Zeb said, "This is how this show will work. The letter A makes 4 main sounds. A, ah, and Deb said, "That's right. Now you're going to see a series of 12 words. With each word, you're going to decide which A sound does the A in that particular word or syllable make." Here's the directions. The narrator will read each word aloud. Then you repeat the word. After that, have your teacher pause the video. During that time period, you're going to figure out which sound the A in that particular word made. If it made the short A sound, then that word on the following screen will float up to the first slot. If the A in that particular word makes the long A sound, then the word on the next screen will float up to the second slot. If the A in that word makes the ah sound, then on the following screen, that word is going to float up to the third slot. And finally, if the A in that word makes the sound, then on the following screen, that word will float up to the fourth slot. After that, you continue playing the video to find out if you were correct. Have fun with this. Repeat after me. Advice. Which slot does that word float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Advice. Which slot does it float into? Did you figure it out? Well, good job. That meant you didn't have to ask anybody for advice about that. You already knew. Unlike this woman in the psychiatrist's office saying, "What should I do, Doc? Give me some advice, please." Repeat after me. Ran. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Ran. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, good. Now notice the gingerbread man. He ran and ran and ran away from that hungry wolf. Will he survive? Repeat after me. Act. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Act. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, good job. Now notice the actor who is acting in a drama club. And then notice the comedy and tragedy masks. This represents people in dramatical shows like plays and videos and movies. That's some of the emotions that they act on and display. Repeat after me. Back. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Back. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, good job. Now notice the dad giving his daughter a piggyback ride. And then this chiropractor massaging this woman's back. And then a monkey riding on that man's back. Repeat after me. Ants. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Ants. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, good job. Repeat after me. Ally. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Ally. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, then you can be my ally and I'll be yours. Like these characters who say, "We are allies. We watch each other's back." Who's your special ally? Perhaps you'd like to pause the video and share who is your best pal who always watches your back. Repeat after me. Dance. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Dance. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, good. Then we can all dance a jig or whatever kind of special dance that you like to dance the best. Repeat after me. Saw. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Saw. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, good. Now do you see what they saw? Notice there's a magician sawing a woman in half. And then there's eyeballs peering at you through a brick wall, or through a keyhole, or through a slot in the wall. And then there's those two kids playing seesaw, and then the beaver sawing a log. Repeat after me. Zigzag. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Zigzag. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, good. Now notice the barrels zigzagging their way up the conveyor belt. Repeat after me. Champ. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Champ. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, you certainly are a champ at this. Repeat after me. Chat. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Chat. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, we'll have to have a chat about that, just like those three people chatting at the lockers. Repeat after me. Accept. Which slot does it float into? Pause the video until you figure it out. Read the word with me. Accept. Which slot does it float into? Did you get it right? Well, then I accept your answer. And then notice this man accepting a diploma on his graduation day. And then this graduate accepting perhaps a job. And then notice the picture on the right. This man is accepting the bag of gold given to him by probably Robin Hood. Would you accept a bag of gold? I know I would. The teacher will give you a worksheet that ties in with the video. The worksheet looks like this. Your first job is to write your name on this sheet. Let's read the directions. Directions. If the picture starts with the letter A, put the uppercase letter A in the small circle below the picture. Then write the rest of the letters that forms that word beside it. There is a word bank to help you out. For example, notice the picture of the ant. Since ant begins with the letter A, we put an uppercase A within the circle, and then we write the remainder of the word. Notice the word bank. You can use this word bank to help you out so that you can spell each word correctly. Reading from left to right, let's read the words in the word bank together. Accept, act, advice, ally, ants, back, champ, chat, dance, ran, saw, zigzag. Here's the directions again. Find the pictures that begin with the letter A. If it does, put an uppercase A in the circle like you see in the example word of ant. Write the rest of the A words. Write all the other words. Use the word bank so you can spell each word correctly. Zeb said, "Stay tuned for other tales and activities created for the Zeb and Deb Phonics program." Deb said, "These were created by professional storyteller and certified K-8 teacher Debbie Dunn." Have a great day, everybody. Yeah, have a great day. We'll see you next time.